Dear heavens.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, where were we before we were rudely interrupted? So we got some more parts to replace some of the parts that we've pretty much already replaced. Imagine that. It's kind of what happens when you buy some cheap parts like these grips here. These were okay at first, but this rubber was rubber, turned into pretty much like hard plastic. So my gloves slip quite a bit on it, you know, as I'm riding. It's kind of tough to, you're really squeezing it really hard, and I don't want to have to do that. So we did get some Domino A450s. Of course, we still went with the blue on black. I'll show you those in a moment. Those are some great quality ones. While I'm at it though, these R7 throttles travel an absolute ton. In the normal riding position, if you're going full throttle, you're really like bending your wrist all the way down to get it pretty much pegged all the way out. And I've heard some people kind of changing these R7 throttle tubes to the R6 throttle tubes to eliminate that massive travel that these R7 tubes have in them. So we'll toss that on while we're at it, and we'll give it a little bit of a shakedown, kind of see how it feels on the bike and everything. Hopefully it's a lot better than this one, because like I said, it is annoying. So grips, throttle tube, and I think last what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on these clip-ons. They're perfectly fine right now as they sit, but the instruments, throttle tube, brake lever, and everything on the other side, as I've said in a previous video, they're all like spaced out, you know, because I could not push this bar end up anymore. So I think I'm gonna mess with this a little bit, change up the degrees that they're sitting at, and I'm gonna do everything I can to move all these instruments up. And I'm gonna probably have to end up cutting this bar end off here to shorten this bar end up, because I can't go up any further. So my only option is pretty much just to chop it. So we'll deal with that kind of towards the end. That's gonna be a little bit of a project that I'll probably kind of fly through and just show you what it looks like at the end, not bore you with all that stuff. But as for now, that is enough talking. We've got a little bit of work on our hands, so let's get to work. Stupid chair. All right, so real quick, some of the things that I'm talking about here on these clip-ons. As you can see the big spaces between kind of all the things, and over here, see all these spaces and everything. So I want to pretty much shorten that up, and the only way really to do that is pretty much to cut this bar, because I can't go up, as you see, any further into the triple tree. So, and then the two issues I have, as you can see, the clutch lever here, this little screw and everything, it's hitting the inside here. So I think I'm gonna have to actually change the degrees of this right now, and it's sitting at 0 degrees. You do have the option to go -7, 0, or +7. I think I'm gonna have to go back down to possibly -7. Reason why I say that is because where the stock ones are, obviously this bike is designed like this. You can see there's like an indent right here, and then it comes to a point on the fairing, or the gas tank plastic here, fairing, whatever you wanna call it. And so when I'm at full turn, which is not often, obviously, unless I'm going real slow, it hits right there. I don't want it hitting. Now, I haven't had an issue with it hitting or anything like that, but I don't like that it limits me if I ever, for some reason, have to. So I want to try to dial that in a little bit, see if I can't find a way to get it all to work. I don't know, like I said, we'll see. Right now, like I said, the ultimate goal is to pretty much shorten these up. As you can see, they sit way out. When the stock ones were like, you know, they came out to right here. So they're a couple inches longer. Again, looks okay. I mean, I guess, maybe, I don't know, depending on who you ask. But let me show you what we got over here. So over here, a couple things. Like I said, I got some Domino A450s blue on black here. I really like these. I've used those before. And then again, R6 throttle tube. I just hopped on Amazon, and this is what was on there. So Motion Pro throttle tube for R6. Of course, we got some grip glue, and then I'm gonna have to piece something, MacGyver something out of these. These are the original bar ends, and unfortunately, those clip-ons do not have any threaded inserts like the stock ones do. As you can see, it has a little threaded insert, and you cannot get this little insert out. Those, however, are hollow, so I'm gonna have to try to figure something out. I hate these little thingies. They're terrible. They never work the way you want them to, but I'm gonna have to try to make something work out of one of these kind of bar ends to go along with that, because obviously I can't use these. This is, yeah, just not gonna work. So I think for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and start breaking this all down, get these grips off, go ahead and get that throttle tube out and everything, and then go ahead and start messing with these clip-ons real quick before I start putting the grips and all that back on there. However, one little thing that might save me is, crack this open real quick. is obviously these are open in. So what'll be nice is I can pretty much just do all this how I want it, get these grips up on here, and then I'll pretty much just cut the access clip-on tube that's out, because it's gonna be sticking out a little bit. Once I get all this up, I'll be able to just shim it off, and then we'll be good to go. So that's enough talking. Got a lot of work to do. Gonna go ahead and start tearing this down, so let's get to it. Got the original R7 throttle tube off here. I want to do a little comparison. Yeah, interesting. They look pretty much the same, but it did say this one was for a R6. Somebody was saying like it helps out with the travel of the tube. I don't really know. It was a couple dollars, honestly. If it's the absolute exact same, whatever. I was already kind of digging into this. Well, they are a little bit different, actually. Just kidding. Yeah, they're ever so slightly different. And I don't know if you can see that on my pinky. The stock throttle was definitely, it has a lot of metal shavings from the bar. It didn't really like that aftermarket woodcraft clip-on. Go ahead and move on to the other side and kind of fight the other one off. That one's gonna be kind of tricky because there's no way to, I was able to just pull this one off, obviously with the throttle tube and everything, but that one is on the bar end. So I'm probably gonna have to do some cutting or something. I don't know, we'll have to pretty much pry it off. So let's toss that back on, hop onto the other side and get that one off. All right, so got this turd off. Actually got both of them off here, and may or may not have scratched the clip-on a little bit here, or gouged the clip-on a little bit with the scribe trying to get it in there. We'll just roll it over to the bottom so we don't see it anymore or anything like that. Act like it was never there. Should be fine. But I think I'm gonna move on to these clip-ons, kind of messing with these a little bit, but I'm just gonna put it on a time lapse. Just gonna be kind of dialing this in, and it'll be kind of boring to watch. But I'm gonna mess with these a little bit and kind of mock some stuff up, and we'll go from there. All right, now as you can see, we pretty much got everything, all the gaps, a lot better. They just got the small gap in between all of them. And you can see the access that I'm gonna be trimming off right here and then putting that bar in. So we're gonna hop on that side, get that one all knocked out and everything, and get all this finished up. All right, so this is pretty much where we are at now. Definitely looking a lot better. So I got these on just kind of temporarily. All this is on essentially temporarily too. At the very end, off camera or whatever, I'm gonna, you know, pull all these bolts or whatever and put thread locker and all that back on it, torque them back down and everything. But I'm gonna snatch these grips back off, and I need to grind off these two edges here and then plan for these bar ends and try to figure those out real quick, and we'll be finished up with this. All right, just a little quick pro tip. I would highly suggest not cutting these if you ever do something like this, not cutting these clip-ons while they're on here. But unfortunately, there's a pretty big storm about to hit, and my wife's car usually goes right here. You kind of get what I'm saying. So anyways, just grabbed a grinder and zapped them off real quick, cleaned it up around the edge here. So I'm gonna clean all this up real good with some alcohol and grab the glue, go ahead and put these grips on for the last time, and then toss these bar ends on, and we'll be all finished up with this little project. All right guys, so I got everything finished up 100% on here. Show you what we got here. It's still, I mean, really looks the same from before, but there's definitely a couple inches on each side that are been hacked off. Grips came out good. These are real sticky. I did go with these ones I had on here before. I couldn't quite get the OEM ones to fit, but I'll probably just order some new bar ends, some better quality ones or something. Those are kind of cheap aluminum, and they're on there, but they kind of move a little bit, and I don't really like it. So yeah, I got everything torqued back down, Loctite. Everything is 100%, other than obviously all the metal shavings all over the bike. Like I said, it's getting pretty hairy outside, which you can't really tell, but it's about to storm pretty bad. So I was trying to finish it up real quick. Didn't want to pull the bars off, cut them, and then put them back on. So I just chopped them there. Storm rolling through tonight. Tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny. So I'm going to roll it out in the morning and give it a really good wash, get all this metal and everything off of it. Of course, take it for a little ride, see how it feels. But yeah, super excited about the new grips. I was getting really annoyed with those little cheap ones. Learn from me, don't buy those little cheap ones. They looked good, but like I said, the rubber hardened like super quick to like a really hard plastic. So every time I twist the throttle, it just kind of like slip a little bit. I feel it slip. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Got a ton of content on this R7. Here soon, there's gonna be something kind of new coming to the channel, so definitely stay tuned for that. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, guys, ride safe. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.